to speak, to say a couple of words. We are not qualified to speak, but he's saying, speak. Not that we're qualified, but he's giving us order to speak, so we speak. But we're asking to speak only from his ocean, inshallah, not to speak from our ego. This is the whole problem. You speak. You can speak from Allah, from Haqq, from truth, or you can also speak from batil, from falsehood, and from your ego. You also speak. You can love. You can love from your ego. And you can love for the sake of Allah. You understand? That knife, it can kill someone. It can also bring someone to life. In the hand of who? Everything now is according to the hand of the one who's going to use it. You give it to a murderer, he's going to kill someone, the knife. If you give the knife to a surgeon, he will restore you to life. Everything is according to now. Allah has given everything to mankind. How are we going to use that? With whose name? You understand? In the name of our desires or our ego? In the name of this world or in the name of shaitan? Or are we using it in the name of Allah and His Prophet? You're saying you're using it in the name of your nafs. There is a proof for that. You're saying you're using the name in the name of Allah. There must be a proof for that too. These two, it cannot get mixed up like that. You understand? It cannot get mixed up. Today, somebody said to me, "Oh, we love you very much, Efendi." Maybe they're listening right now. And I said, prepare yourself for hardship. And you're asking me the question, because Shaykh Efendi says, in this way, prepare yourself for hardship. And what is this way? This is the way of the prophets. And Allah is saying, you think you're going to reach to the high stations without us testing you? Understand? So it is going to be difficult. This way. Guaranteed it's going to be difficult. Who is it difficult to? What is it difficult to? It's difficult to your ego. It is difficult to your desires. It is not difficult to your spirit. Your spirit wants this. Your spirit wants to rise up. The ego is pulling it down. The pleasures and treasures of this world, it is very good and very easy to who? To our desires, to the ego. But the pleasures and the treasures of this world, to live just purely for the sake of your ego, how is it treating your spirit? It is suffocating it. It is choking it. It is making it to suffer. It is punishing it. There is difficulty. You understand? There is difficulty. So now that difficulty, did any of the prophets that Allah has sent, 124,000 prophets, that they came and they lived with complete pleasure and complete fun and entertainment? None. In fact, all of them are showing that their way and the reality of this world, there is a measure there of suffering. Not because this world with the plants and the animals and the rainbow and the earth is suffering and is, no. If you, in fact, if you go according to that, you will find paradise here on earth. Because everything that is created here, Allah has created according to His plan. The dunya here is not meaning this dunya. The dunya here is meaning man making the world for himself. according to his desires. You understand? And so, now, we have come now to the situation where if you're going to follow the way of the prophets are showing this is not your home. Your home, it is somewhere that you came from and you're going to return to. Now you have to try to remember that. And we remember. Every beauty that you see, every mercy that you feel, you're going to remember from that original home, because this is coming from that. Okay? Are the prophets themselves, they are suffering because they're in this way? Are they cursing and they are complaining? No, they're not. You understand? Even those prophets that are sent to rule, to become kings and sultans, like Hazreti Daud alayhi salam, Hazreti Sulaiman alayhi salam, they were not sitting there enjoying the pleasures and the treasures of this world. They were there ruling properly and bringing people to say, turn your face from this world, turn your face from your own reality to the one who gave you that reality. La ilaha illallah. Don't start worshipping yourself, because you came from somewhere and you're going back to somewhere. So look to that, remember. So there is going to be difficulty, because now we are here, as the Quran is saying, in asfal safilin, in the lowest of the low. Here is enemy territory. This is not friendly territory. This is not our home. In fact, we're in exile. We are separated. And we are singing. The Spirit is singing to be reunited. Even if you are separated and you enter into the most luxurious place, a palace, you will still feel sad. It'll still be empty. If you are separated from your loved one, it is going to be hell wherever you are, because you are separated. This is our spirit. The Spirit is lamenting that. And Allah is calling. 24 hours. Allah is saying, Alastu bi rabbikum. Am I not your Lord? That question was asked on the day of judgment, but not one time in the day of judgment, in that pre-eternity. Allah is asking that question every day, every hour, every second. Allah is asking continuously, am I not your Lord? On that day of promises, we all made a promise to him. We say, yes, we love you and we worship you. You are our Lord. We made that promise. We remember. This is not about religion. Anyone with 2 brain cells understand you are from somewhere and you're going to go back to that somewhere, as Maulana Rumi is saying. Of that I'm certain. You understand? This, everything is going to disappear. But it is not this that is keeping us alive. It is the Spirit. But the Spirit came from somewhere. It is going to return. The Spirit that is caged in this body now, do you think the Spirit is free? No, it's not. It's suffering. And the prophets came, especially to bring that spirituality, the Sufism, to say how to escape from these 5 senses. So that your spirit is not locked. You're locking your 5 senses, and your spirit may become more free. You understand? So there is going to be. But that suffering, Allah is promising. After every difficulty, there is ease. Allah is swearing, verily, repeating twice, second time saying, verily, after every difficulty, there is ease. Allah is promising us that. You understand? Ease in this world and ease in the next world. Don't think ease in this world means, okay, I suffer for Allah, now I'm going to get nice car, nice house, nice wife, nice husband, nice this and nice that. No, then you're still stuck in that animal category of the blessings is only according to this world what He's going to give you. You understand? No. That ease now is what has caused you pain before, what was difficult before is going to become easy. You enter 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. Then you start looking back and you say, oh, why was I behaving like that 20 years old? I was crazy. Why I have to? Why I was like that 30 years old? Things start to become easy and clearer to you. I cannot speak for everyone, but those ones who are searching, and Allah make this midlife crisis situation to always happen, to make a person at least when he reach 50 years old, let's say, to say, who am I? Who set me here? What am I doing? What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of happiness? Those are spiritual questions. Those questions in reality everyone asks when they are teenagers. Who am I? They're starting to question their own identity because fully the maturity is reaching, so they're asking. And now if you're going to drown these questions with pleasures and desires, those ones who are asking, and you're drowning them in pleasures and desires and heedlessness and drunkenness, then you are trapping that spirit there, and you're letting the ego to go wild. It is not going to develop. If he had asked that question from the young age and searching to find that answer, by the time he reaches 40 years of age, that one will be a guide to others. No longer just for himself, for others. If he starts asking that question later on, even if you want to find the answer, you cannot, because this one hand is tied to the world, this one is tied to the desires, this one to shaitan, this one to the ego. This world is holding you tight. You cannot look for these answers because you say, I have so much responsibility in this world that I have to go. But the death is there. The death is certain and it is waiting. You understand? Now do you understand which one is more difficult? Two difficulties. One man is in prison. Very difficult. But he is told, one day you will escape from this prison. They will free you. And forever you will enter into a palace and they'll make you to become the sultan. Difficulty. Another man, he is living like a sultan. But it is told to him, one day this will end and you will enter into a prison forever. Two difficulties, correct? Are they the same? No, they're completely different between night and day. Because that one who is in prison will say, if that is so, this will end. Then I'm going to be in that situation forever, this will end. There is an end to this difficulty. The other one, even when he is having a life of complete, no problems and pleasure, he is always going to worry. It will never give him any sweetness. As we know, it is the peace of mind. Finally, 21st century mankind. They finally realize it is the peace that is the most important. It is not your money. It is not your car. It is not your education. It is not even how much you know. It is peace. If you don't have peace, that anxiety, that depression, that worry, that stress, even if it is about your clothes, it will consume you. You understand? So that one, having the best of life, he will never have peace because he knows one day all this is going to end. So they're two very different difficulties. How do you know if that difficulty that you're going through, it is for the sake of Allah, that difficulty, you're actually stepping on your ego, and the ego stepping over you, correct? It is so easy. You have a guide. Ask. You understand? Ask. So many, they're not asking. Intelligent man is going to say, I'm not only going to ask in times of difficulty, I'm going to ask in times of ease. You know? If you're in times of difficulty and you're asking, it's already too late. It's like that, the ant and the grasshopper. You know that story? Ant and grasshopper? You know that, Adam? No, you don't know. Ali, you know that? Because they don't teach this kind of teaching stories to the young anymore. Every story is just for fun. They read comic books and everything, just for fun, just for entertainment. But all these teaching stories in every faith, in every tradition, teaching people, teaching the young ones. It's a story, but teaching them is not your fault. Yeah? Teaching them about the values of life. What is important, what is not important. It was summertime. Everything was plentiful. And you see this ant, what is he doing? He's collecting food and he's storing it. He's working so hard to collect and store it. Weather is nice. Grasshopper say, look at this idiot. You're supposed to enjoy life. Every day there's so much food around. Why I have to do like that? I'm going to enjoy him. He enjoy himself, he eat, he drink, he play. Whole summertime, the ant is storing away the food, storing away the food. The weather turned a little bit cold. Grasshopper say, it's okay. It's not so bad. Ant is quickly now starting to store more and more and more. Winter time comes, everything is barren. There's nothing to eat. The grasshopper is saying, I'm dead now. I cannot do anything. And the ant is nice and comfortable, saying, I've prepared myself now. I've prepared myself for the difficulty that is ahead. The intelligent man looks to the difficulty that is ahead. You ask, you'll get the answer. Those who are not asking, they try to solve by themselves. When they don't know how to do it, they will come up with so many weird theories and ideas and thinkings. Then they're going to think everyone is against them. You understand? Now, it doesn't mean because the Shaykh is going to tell you something, you're going to understand also. So many, they don't understand too much. So many, it's difficult for them to understand. There's so many, it'll take them years to understand. There are so many people that I talk to them, and I look at them and I say, let's pick up this conversation in 5 years' time. I say, I cannot talk to you right now. No, but this is, I said, 5 years, let's have the same conversation. 5 years later, we talk. The person says, you know what? You're right. I say, I know that. And I know that it is now, I cannot force you to also. I cannot force that one to understand. So, the guides, they take a step back. They watch things grow. They see how much this one can take, how much. It is those ones that they're supposed to be following God, that they are rushing everything. They are watching things grow, they're being very delicate. This much water, this much sun, we have to cover it. It is still very uncertain. Springtime, yes, it is the time for planting, but the weather is still very uncertain, correct? Correct or no? Gardener. Huh? Anytime the wind can change, it's growing, but it is so delicate, cold wind can come and knock everything out again. You have to be thinking of that. Everyone is growing. That one is always thinking. But Emirates, they're not listening. They only just want to rush. Things that we're taking so long to just build, they can destroy it just like that. We cannot even get upset because the main concern now is dying. How do we make it to come back alive again? We cannot even get upset. You understand how much freedom we have? Astaghfirullah. We have to say now, how are we going to raise this? Upset later. Astaghfirullah. So, you're going through certain difficulties. Sit and ask. Look for an answer. Final step. You say, I cannot find through anything else. I'm going to speak to that one. A guide. He is not an authority over you. He is a guide for you. You understand? Ask. And then sit and listen and think properly. Then you'll know. If you do that often enough, we are not so unique. You understand? Our egos are not unique. Our spirit, yes, it is unique, but not our ego. Meaning whatever the ego does, if you're doing this way, this one also does probably the same way. This one, this one, this one, this one. Everyone is, there is a predictability. It's predictable. Small or big. Individual, group, or nations. There are characteristics. And that one is sitting night and day studying this. He spent so much time. He had to be trained to study himself. Then now he says, no. You didn't finish. Now you have to study. And that's more difficult than you think studying yourself is very easy. You have to study than others. And then slowly lead them to safety. And so now, if you are thinking and you're saying, I'm going through this difficulty, how was it 1 year before? Was it the same thing? And then you're going to say, what happened before that? You're going to go step by step, thinking how it became to that point. If you keep doing the same thing is happening, there is a pattern there. And then you by yourself, you will know, okay, once upon a time, I came to the road and the road split and I decided to take the wrong way. And this is when I deviated. It kept going and they're guiding you back to the main road. You come to another split. You've seen that split before. But you say, I can't help myself. I have to take that road. You take another road. It happened again and again and again and again. Usually it is stubbornness. You understand? The anger that completely blinds you. You're not thinking the words that comes out from your mouth. Does this fit into a believer? Does this fit that your Allah and your Prophet, they are watching? Does it fit to the honor of Islam? You're not watching that. The anger completely blinds you. It blinds you so much that you say, whatever that is being built, I'm willing to destroy everything because I'm right, that one is wrong. Usually when people come and they say we have disagreement, okay, which is pretty rare. Never I have two people say we have a disagreement, please listen. Yeah. They make a mess and then I have to interfere. Never have two people coming in and say, both of us are wrong. Please, tell us, because I think I'm wrong, and I think I'm wrong. It used to be in the old days. In the old days, they went to actual court to say they are wrong. Everyone saying, no, I'm right. I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. One day, I'm going to be like Nasruddin Hoja. One man is going to say, Hoja, it's like this. I'm going to listen and I say, you are right. The other one is going to say, no, Hoja, it's not like that, it's like this. And then I'm going to listen and say, you are right. Like Hoja's wife is saying, Hoja, come. They cannot both be right. What are you saying? And Hoja said to the wife, you know what, wife? You are right too. At the end of the day, if you don't want to listen, you know who is wrong? Only I'm wrong. Everyone is right. You understand? Now you know, knowing that this is your idol, are you willing to step back? Are you willing to see? When you are seeing, whose eyes you're seeing through? When you're speaking, whose words you're using? Heedlessness, drunkenness, it comes in so many ways. It's not just the drink. You understand? In Islam, it is forbidden to take anything, liquor, that will change your consciousness. That is the physical lesson. But anything that you do to make you drunk. So many people, they're drunk with power. So many, they're drunk with their anger. So many, they're drunk with self-righteousness also. I'm right, everyone else is wrong. So many, they're drunk with their wealth. So many, they're drunk with their own problems. No one else has problems, only I have problems. This drunkenness, this heedlessness, this is forbidden. Holy days are here. Are we stepping back to say, oh, why all these are happening? People are questioning, like what you're questioning a little bit, then they understand, oh, let me at least pull everything back. Hold your horses, they're saying. Right? Mm-hmm. Pull back your horses, tie your horses, and then what? Trust in Allah. No trust. We have to understand. This doesn't fit to the honor. These two things that Shaykh Efendi said, it might seem they're conflicting. Those who are in the way of faith, they get difficulties. But those who are not in the way of faith, they also get difficulties. It might seem that it is conflicting. It is not. Now you understand? Okay? So, understand, Shaykh Efendi said our way is a way that is alive. For some people, they enter into tariqat, everything becomes very easy. For others, everything becomes upside down. So it's happening. Who are you? What are you going to complain about? You step in the way and you say in this way, this is the way of the prophets, I'm going to find my Lord. My Lord is calling me. And your Lord is saying, on this way, this is the provision I'm giving you. Yes, it's not an easy way. May Allah make it easy, inshallah. Then again, I'm saying, what is so difficult? What is so difficult? We are out in the cold. We are starving. Our houses, our properties, our rights being taken away from us every day. What are we suffering? Here, I'm talking about what are we suffering? But when man is not remembering the mercy of Allah, everything becomes a punishment. Even the mercy that he gets, he thinks he's being punished by it. He'll start fighting with it. You understand? You remember that plaque Shaban had? I was complaining because I have no shoes. Until I met a man who has no feet. They say, oh, Sufis believe in these kind of things. That's why they were never moving forward. We say, you don't know your history, you're the most ignorant ones. With this kind of understanding, we're able to reach to the highest level of civilization of this world and beyond too. This is not to stop and retire from the world. When it's necessary, you're going to retire from the world, but it is in your heart you retire from the world. You are in the world, you have to work. You have to do things properly. If your job is what? To build, you have to build. But your heart is not in that building. Your heart is not in that technology. Your heart is not in this world. Your heart is with Allah, and everything you're using must be for Allah. You understand? Or else, when this selfishness enters, the love of this world enters into the heart, everything you see, you say it belongs to you. And everything that you don't see, you say it also belongs to me. And everything that you have, you don't want to share it. You don't want to share it. The believer, where are those? Whatever you have, the believer, whatever is enough for one, it is enough for two. What you have for two, it is enough for three. Oh, these days, you cannot even share. Where it's all going. Allah make us to wake up.